Breaking news. In the last half hour, the Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, has announced that the UK will start screening passengers arriving at Heathrow from parts of China affected by the flu-like virus, which has already taken 9 lives.
So, should you be worried? Well, Dr Zoe joins us now with the latest, and we'll talk a bit more about that screening that's just been announced. But first of all, what is it? Coronavirus?
Yeah, so coronaviruses are a large family of viruses, and actually there are some milder strains that cause the common cold or bronchiolitis. So there may be people watching this thinking, my baby had that, no need to worry. But this is a strain that's been newly, for the first time, been discovered in human beings.
This is Wuhan novel coronavirus.
Yeah, so if we break that down, Wuhan is the name of the city where it was first detected. Novel means new, and then coronavirus. So this particular type of virus it's the first time it's been known that humans have been infected by it, thought to probably come from an animal, because there are animals in the large market in Wuhan. Now, should we be worried? So our government have just upgraded it from very low risk to low risk, so we shouldn't be too worried. There have been no cases identified so far in the UK, but there have been a few cases identified outside of China. So within China, there are about 440 cases and 9 people have died.
This is Chinese New Year, so there'll be a lot of people travelling in,
Yeah.
perhaps getting infected, then travelling home to the entire world. And that's the problem with these sort of viruses these days, is how easy it is to transmit them.
Yeah, so the Chinese government have been looking close at this virus, and last night they did tell us that it does transmit from human to human, although it seems it doesn't do that easily, because all of the cases that have been identified so far are in people who have been in Wuhan. So in terms of should we be worried, I think we have to know about it. We have to, especially if we start to develop symptoms, if anyone has come from China or have been in contact with somebody who's been in China, and you start to develop the symptoms of a dry cough, a fever, headache, aches and pains, dial 111 and get some medical advice. But it's unlikely, from what we're seeing so far, that anybody in the UK is likely to be diagnosed.
So what does it do then? Because the symptoms that you've just explained, I mean, there'll be a lot of people that are watching this that should be at work because they've had those exact symptoms, and that's like any other sort of cold or flu or feeling under the weather. What makes this so different?
Having been to Wuhan. So essentially, if somebody's come back from Wuhan and they develop those symptoms, don't mess around, contact a healthcare professional straight away, or if your family member has just come back from Wuhan. But otherwise, there's no need to be concerned. The Public Health England are going to make an announcement later today as to what they're doing to detect people coming into the country from Wuhan. There are 3 flights every week that go from Wuhan to Heathrow. And as you were just saying, Phillip, the Transport Secretary has said that they are going to start screening people on those particular flights.
What do they look for when they start screening?
So what they'll do with the screening in this case, I believe, is that the people on the flights will be given a questionnaire and asked some questions, and if they have any symptoms of a cough, of a fever, feeling unwell, then to let the health team that will be at the airport know about it so that they can be screened further.
There'll be a lot of people who obviously will worry. They'll develop symptoms. Maybe they'll, know someone who has recently been to China, and then they get ordinary flu.
Yeah.
Is the possibility that this could absolutely flood our medical resources by people who are actually concerned and they've just got the flu or a cold?
I think that there isn't much concern. I think it's always best just to seek help. And if you dial 111, then you can speak to a medical professional. It'll either be a nurse, it can be a paramedic, it can be a doctor. And actually, at the moment, the NHS has been given the information that we need. Unless that person has been to Wuhan, we're not going to ask them to do anything different.
People get flu around the world, they transmit flu, they get on a plane with flu, they give the people on the plane the flu, they get off and give it to everyone at work. What makes this so bad? It's been compared to SARS, MERS, so what makes it so bad?
So this has been classified as so dangerous because it can be deadly. It doesn't look like it's very highly infectious from human to human, but we don't know that definitely yet because it's new.
But lots of people can die from the flu if they're vulnerable.
Exactly, people can die from the flu. So really, if we think about this, like the flu, or like bird flu or swine flu, it's been classified in a similar way. There isn't a cure for it, but actually, if you're fit and well and you get this, your own body's immune system will fight it off, but it's more likely to cause things like viral pneumonia, so we're more likely to need support from healthcare services whilst getting over it. Like with flu, it's the very elderly, the very young, people with weakened immune systems, people who are pregnant, who are more susceptible to the consequences, the severe consequences. And the deaths that we've seen in China have predominantly been in people over the age of 65.
So therefore, I mean, all you can do, do, I guess, is sort of protect yourself. I mean, what are the things you should be doing to make sure, I mean, any type of flu really, but particularly this one?
Yeah, I think at this stage, nobody needs to panic about this particular virus, just be aware of it. But as with any virus, the common cold and flu, the best way to protect ourselves is with hygiene. So if we're sneezing, sneeze into our elbow, sneeze into a tissue, throw that in the bin, hand washing. Viruses like this, they can spread through the air through respiratory particles and they can survive on surfaces for about 24 hours. So hand washing and general hygiene. But in terms of this particular coronavirus, there's no need for anybody to worry, and we'll look out for that PHE announcement later today.
Okay, thank you, Zoe. Thank you very much.